Today, we are going to talk about the most dangerous animal that ever lived in the ocean. An animal so powerful that nothing in the sea could challenge it. For nearly 20 million years, it ruled the oceans without competition. Its name was Megalodon. When people think about dangerous sea creatures today, they usually think of great white sharks. But millions of years ago, the great white was not the top predator. Back then, the oceans belonged to something far bigger, far stronger, and far more terrifying. Megalodon was not just the biggest shark, it was the undisputed ruler of the ocean. Megalodon lived in a time when the seas were full of giant animals, massive whales, huge seals, and large marine mammals filled the oceans. For most predators, these animals were impossible to hunt, but for Megalodon, they were food. This shark was so large that a single tooth could be as big as a human hand. Its jaws were wide enough to swallow two people side by side. When Megalodon opened its mouth, it was not just terrifying, it was deadly. For a long time, scientists believed Megalodon was simply a giant version of today's great white shark. The idea seemed logical because both had large, sharp, triangular teeth. Because of this similarity, Megalodon was imagined as a massive great white, just bigger and heavier. But this idea turned out to be wrong. As scientists studied Megalodon fossils more carefully, they began to notice serious problems. The teeth were not exactly the same. The shape was different. The roots were different. Even the way the teeth were arranged did not match great white sharks. This raised an important question. If Megalodon was not a giant great white, then what exactly was it? The truth is that Megalodon belonged to a completely different family of sharks, one that is now extinct. This family has no living members. That means there is nothing alive today that truly compares to Megalodon, because sharks are made of cartilage instead of bone. Their skeletons do not fossilize well. This is why scientists have never found a complete Megalodon skeleton. Most of what we know comes from teeth and a few fossilized vertebrae. For many years, scientists used these fossils to estimate Megalodon's size. Based on early calculations, they believed it was around 15 to 18 meters long. That was already enormous and terrifying. But new research suggests that this estimate may have been too small. When scientists examined rare fossilized vertebrae and compared them with modern sharks, they discovered something shocking. Megalodon was not short and bulky like the modern great white shark. Instead, it had a longer and more streamlined body. A streamlined body creates less drag in the water. Less drag means better movement and less wasted energy. This design allowed Megalodon to swim efficiently despite its massive size. In simple words, Megalodon was not slow. It was big and fast at the same time. Some new studies suggest that the largest Megalodons may have reached over 24 meters in length. That is longer than a Tyrannosaurus rex and close to the size of a modern blue whale. Imagine an animal that large moving silently through the ocean. Imagine a predator powerful enough to attack whales head-on. That was Megalodon, but size alone does not explain its success. Megalodon was not just big, it was designed to kill. Modern sharks usually attack the soft parts of their prey. Megalodon did something very different. Fossil evidence shows bite marks directly on whale bones. This tells us that Megalodon attacked hard areas like ribs and flippers. Its bite force was strong enough to break bones with ease. One powerful bite could disable a whale almost instantly. Megalodon did not need long chases. It relied on sudden, devastating attacks. Power, precision, and efficiency were its greatest weapons. This hunting strategy worked extremely well. Megalodon dominated the oceans for millions of years. It survived climate changes, shifting seas, and the rise of other predators. So the question is simple: how did such a perfect predator disappear? For a long time, people believed Megalodon went extinct because the oceans became colder. But evidence suggests that Megalodon could survive in different temperatures. Cold water alone was not enough to destroy it. The real reason was more complex. Over time, the ocean ecosystem changed. Many large marine animals began to disappear. Whales became smaller and less common. Food became harder to find. At the same time, a new predator was rising: the great white shark. Great white sharks were smaller, faster, and needed far less food to survive. While Megalodon required enormous amounts of energy, great whites could live on much less. This gave great whites a huge advantage. They adapted quickly to the changing ocean. Megalodon could not adapt fast enough. Megalodon did not lose because it was weak. It lost because the world around it changed. As food disappeared, its massive size became a disadvantage. What once made Megalodon unstoppable now made survival impossible. By around 3.6 million years ago, Megalodon was gone. There was no final battle and no dramatic ending. There was only a slow disappearance as the ocean moved on without it. Even today, some people believe Megalodon might still be alive, hiding in the deep ocean. But science tells a different story. An apex predator like Megalodon would leave clear evidence. Whales would show massive bite marks. Other predators would behave differently. None of this is happening today. There is also not enough food in the deep ocean to support an animal that large. Megalodon needed constant feeding to survive. The truth is clear. Megalodon is extinct, but its story is far from forgotten. Every fossilized tooth tells us that the ocean was once ruled by a predator, unlike anything alive today. A creature so powerful that it shaped entire marine ecosystems. For a long time, scientists were wrong about Megalodon. They underestimated its design, its speed, and its true dominance. Megalodon was not just a giant shark. It was the most perfectly built predator the ocean has ever known. And nothing like it will ever exist again, because the ocean itself no longer allows it.